point to make is Harry and Meghan were kept waiting, encircling Highgrove for some considerable length of time.
She crossed an ocean. She brought the children. Expectations were sky-high. Yet just 47 minutes later, everything was over. No triumphant family photograph. No emotional reunion for the cameras. No royal breakthrough. No public declaration of peace. Just silence. And sometimes, silence speaks louder than any statement ever could. The question that refuses to go away isn't simply what happened during those 47 minutes at Highgrove. It's why every move before, during, and after that meeting seemed so carefully controlled. Was this really just a private family visit, or was something much bigger unfolding behind palace walls? The deeper you follow the timeline, the harder it becomes to believe that anything about this visit happened by accident.
Prince Harry will be travelling to the UK alone, at least for the first week of his visit. Just to add to the chaos and confusion, though, was where he would stay.
For weeks, the narrative appeared straightforward. Prince Harry would return to Britain for the Invictus Games countdown event, while Meghan would remain in California with the children. It looked organized, predictable, almost routine. The public itinerary centered entirely around Birmingham, where Harry's commitment to the Invictus Games provided a clear reason for his visit without immediately reigniting conversations about royal reconciliation. That was the official story everyone believed. Then, almost overnight, everything shifted. Suddenly Meghan was reportedly in the United Kingdom. Archie and Lilibet were said to be there as well. Quietly, without advance fanfare, the Sussex family made their way toward Highgrove, King Charles's private residence. There were no dramatic arrivals, no waiting photographers, no carefully staged walk toward palace doors. Instead, according to the record, their vehicle entered discreetly among other traffic connected to an event taking place on the estate that same afternoon. Every detail seemed deliberately understated. The timing, the route, even the absence of publicity raised new questions about who was managing every step of the visit. While this quiet arrival unfolded behind estate gates, Harry himself was publicly appearing in Birmingham, smiling through interviews and discussing the Invictus Games. Two completely different stories appeared to be playing out simultaneously. One unfolded in front of television cameras. The other remained hidden behind Highgrove's private entrance. The contrast alone made observers wonder whether the public schedule was only one piece of a much larger picture. As discussions surrounding the visit intensified, attention also turned toward the professional challenges described throughout the record. It points to reports about changing commercial partnerships, reduced entertainment opportunities, and financial pressures surrounding several ventures associated with Harry and Meghan. Whether viewed individually or collectively, the record argues these developments formed a pattern that added new context to the timing of the Highgrove visit. Supporters may see unfortunate circumstances, while critics interpret them differently, but either way, the sequence of events became impossible to ignore. The record then returns to one central question. If everything was going smoothly, why make such an unexpected journey? Why alter carefully reported travel plans at the last moment? Why quietly arrive with almost no public acknowledgement? These questions don't answer themselves, but they certainly fueled intense speculation. Then came another unexpected twist. Before anyone entered the meeting room, reports described several moments that immediately drew attention. One involved accommodation arrangements that appeared to change. Different accounts emerged regarding what had been offered, what had been accepted, and why plans ultimately shifted. Both sides reportedly described events differently, leaving observers with two competing versions and very few definitive answers. According to the record, there were also reports that Meghan had communicated specific preferences before the visit. However, those expectations reportedly were not fulfilled, and the meeting instead took place at Highgrove rather than Buckingham Palace. Whether that distinction carried symbolic meaning remains open to interpretation, but commentators immediately debated what message, if any, it might have sent. Then came perhaps the most talked about detail. When the Sussexes reportedly arrived at Highgrove, their vehicle did not immediately proceed into the meeting. Instead, the record describes a period during which the car remained waiting on the estate before access was granted. On its own, that delay could have many explanations. Yet because of everything surrounding this highly anticipated visit, the wait quickly became one of the most analyzed moments of the entire day. Every minute seemed to invite another theory. Every passing second encouraged another question. Was it simple scheduling, or something more? The record itself does not establish an answer, but it presents the delay as a significant moment in the broader sequence of events. The emotional dimension was equally impossible to overlook. According to the record, King Charles had not reportedly seen Archie and Lilibet since the Platinum Jubilee several years earlier. That family context inevitably added weight to the meeting. Was this primarily about rebuilding personal relationships, or were broader institutional considerations equally important? Different royal commentators reached different conclusions, but the uncertainty itself kept the story alive. By the time the doors finally opened, one fact remained undeniable: anticipation had reached extraordinary levels. Months of speculation, years of public tension, competing media narratives, and countless unanswered questions had all converged into a single private meeting scheduled to last less than an hour. No cameras would capture what happened next. No official photographs would explain the atmosphere. Only fragments would emerge afterward. And according to those later accounts, the 47 minutes inside Highgrove would become one of the most closely examined royal meetings in recent memory. The moment the doors finally closed behind them, years of public headlines, interviews, documentaries, legal disputes, and royal tension were suddenly reduced to one private conversation. 47 minutes. That was all. After everything that had happened between Prince Harry, Meghan, and the royal family, many expected some dramatic breakthrough, or at the very least, a visible sign that old wounds were beginning to heal. But according to the record, none of that emerged publicly. Instead, the meeting was described as formal, tightly managed, and remarkably controlled from beginning to end. Rather than resembling an emotional family reunion, it reportedly felt more like a carefully structured discussion where every word mattered and every detail was being observed. One detail immediately stood out. Queen Camilla was reportedly present during the meeting. According to the record, royal biographer Sally Bedell Smith described her presence as similar to an earlier private meeting between King Charles and Prince Harry, serving as a witness rather than an active participant. If accurate, that detail suggested just how carefully the discussion was being managed. The record frames her attendance not as unusual family support, but as part of ensuring that there would be an independent account of exactly what was said. Whether observers agree with that interpretation or not, it certainly became one of the most discussed aspects of the meeting. Reports summarized in the record also indicate that Harry reportedly entered first, while Meghan remained outside with the children for part of the visit. If those accounts are accurate, commentators naturally questioned whether that sequence reflected logistics or a deliberate decision. The record does not establish the reason, but it highlights how even small procedural details quickly became subjects of widespread analysis. Sometimes, in stories like this, what isn't publicly explained generates as much discussion as what is. According to the record, the meeting ended without photographs, without public remarks, and without any official imagery that might have symbolized reconciliation. For many observers, that absence became the story itself. In an era where a single photograph can dominate global headlines, the lack of one encouraged endless speculation. Some viewed it as evidence that the meeting remained strictly private. Others interpreted it differently. Regardless of perspective, the record emphasizes that nothing emerged publicly which suggested a significant change in the relationship between the Sussexes and the institution. The record goes on to suggest that one of the visit's greatest missed opportunities may have been the absence of a family photograph featuring King Charles with Archie and Lilibet. It argues that such an image could have carried enormous symbolic and public significance. That interpretation reflects the source material's analysis rather than an established fact, but it illustrates why the lack of any official photograph became such a central talking point after the visit concluded. While the Highgrove meeting remained private, public royal duties continued elsewhere. The record contrasts the Sussex visit with Prince William and Princess Catherine appearing at a charity polo event, noting the difference in public visibility. Whether that comparison is meaningful depends on individual interpretation, but it became part of the broader discussion surrounding the timing of both events. Then the timeline becomes even more complex. By the end of the record, one central theme emerges above everything else. The Highgrove meeting is portrayed not simply as a family conversation, but as a moment surrounded by questions about public image, institutional relationships, legal pressures, and future possibilities. Whether readers agree with every interpretation or not, the record consistently frames those 47 minutes as carrying significance beyond the meeting itself. No official record of the conversation has ever been released. No detailed account has been confirmed publicly. That leaves only timelines, public reporting, commentary, and interpretation. Perhaps, in time, more details will emerge. Or perhaps those 47 minutes will remain one of the royal family's most private conversations, an event that continues to generate discussion precisely because so little is known about what was actually said behind closed doors. And sometimes, the biggest royal mystery isn't what the world saw. It's what the world never did.